Welcome, folks, to Life in the 1900s newspapers. But sadly today, no newspapers. We're going to be doing some 1950s bizarre, strange, and often funny newsreels. How would you like this job? In the 1950s, there was actually a position of a lipstick tester. Did you know swack for a kiss is sealed with a kiss? He looks pretty pleased with himself, doesn't he? And he got paid for it. Yes, there certainly was some wacky characters in the 50s. People back then were all into UFOs and aliens. They often thought, what if an alien visited? What would they think? Well, here's a short from Encyclopedia Britannica Films about an alien reporting back what he found about life on Earth.
In accordance with our instructions, we continued toward the planet which its inhabitants called the Earth in order to study their mode of life. The intelligent creatures on this planet call themselves human beings, and they exist in an amazing variety of conditions. Some live in heat-laden jungles, wearing very little clothing on their bodies. We found others who cover their bodies with great gaudiness, even though the heat may be just as great. Some shovel food into their mouths with tiny silver utensils. Some use sticks of bamboo wood. And some use the 5 tentacle-like extensions which grow from the lower part of each hand. Every culture has a strong code of what is right and wrong in conduct, which often helps to keep things running smoothly. This code is called by the Earth's social scientists the mores of the culture. For example, it is part of the mores of the culture in the country which its inhabitants call United States to respect private property. And although the streets of this country are lined with 4-wheeled vehicles, all looking very much alike, the individual will ignore every vehicle but one, which he calls his own. So powerful is the force of a culture that in a society where male members on certain occasions are expected to wear small horizontal decorations under their chins, a member who instead wears a vertical decoration suffers great agony and mental distress. What is right in one culture may be wrong in another. In some cultures, it may be considered right and proper for a man to have more than one wife. But in the culture of the United States, should a male have on his clothing so much as a strand of hair from a female not his wife, a serious crisis may result. The mores may be different for different situations within the same culture. On public beaches, a person may be seen with very little clothing on his body, and this is considered quite natural. But should the same person appear on a street, even though he may have more clothing on his body, if he's wearing the wrong type of clothing, this would be a violation of the mores of his culture. Not only would he shock other members of his society and cause great disturbance, but his society might also take official action to stop him from this violation of its mores. But whether a culture is a tribal way of life or a great civilization, it serves its people in the same way, by setting up goals for a way of life through which they can achieve personal happiness if they conform. Thus, knowing the culture of any group charts the way to a fuller understanding of the people themselves.
Let's start in Britain, where they used to have a baby buggy race, or pram race, as they called it there. Looks like their refreshment is beer. Ye God, there goes the telly. I think the most amazing thing is that he was smoking inside there. Many a 50s boy made their own soapbox car.
It's Derby Day in Akron, Ohio, the All-American Soapbox Derby. Hometown winners from far and wide are here seeking the top prize, a 4-year college scholarship. Germany is represented in this 15th of the Small Fry Racing Classics. George Rippard of Ontario is raring to go. Jimmy Stewart bids Dave Grubbs good luck as the 11 to 16-year-old youngsters get away in the colorful event. The Derby is concerned not only with the steering of cars, but with the steering of boys, teaching them to work with their minds and their hands to be better men of tomorrow. A huge crowd follows the heats of homemade racers down 1,000-foot concrete runway. Old man Gravity is the final arbiter, but fancy timing devices keep close tabs on the results as the Derby winds up to its thrilling climax. And here it is, the final heat, and a close one right down to the finish line. The winner over Jim Thomas of Pennsylvania and Vic Shepard of Michigan is Joe Lund of Columbus, Georgia, king of the soap boxers. Something new in Army mess halls at Fort McNair near Washington, D.C. It's Operation Fatty, a volunteer program for overweight GIs. At the diet tables, the well-padded volunteers get only 1,900 calories, compared with up to 4,000 for those who don't have to watch their waistlines. You might call it corporal punishment, making the dieters watch the lucky others pack away those full chow trays. Here's one sergeant who won't throw his weight around, although he could spare it. The door is open, so come on in for a look-see at the latest in hats. A picture of hats designed by Denis Chabot of Paris, having their pictures taken by Monsieur le Photographeur. He may be looking for a birdie on Nellie's hat, and when he doesn't find one, he raises a fuss over feathers, white on a trim black toque. For this one, the accent is all white and quite startling in its effect. It clicks with the photographer. This wide-sweeping eye-catcher comes in white or red. The gal who wears it won't be lacking in appreciative glances from the opposite sex. Big hats, little hats, white hats, red hats. Paris has them topped every time. Hats with veils, hats with flowers. You don't see any flowers? Certainement, we pinned a rose on her. Hats with feathers, too. Paris isn't missing a trick. Mais non. Of course, if Mademoiselle can't face it in her new chapeau, why, she can be a cover girl. But the eyes have it.
You can do any little thing that you've a mind to, but you must do it with a twinkle in your eye. You can be unreserved and even unrefined too, but don't forget that little twinkle in your eye. My Aunt Clarice mistook the Iceman for my uncle, because she smiled, my Uncle Freddie passed it by. Now you can get away with murder of that kind too, but
Here's a newsreel from Canada with a man who, in my opinion, gets a little bit too friendly with his pet cats.
If there's anything backward about breaking a world's record, you won't prove it by Mario Lelli of Rome. He's quite serious about setting a new mark for backward walking, the neatest reversal of form since wrong-way Corrigan. An Englishman holds the present record for the event, certainly the longest any man backpedaled and got his name in the papers. To his seeing eye helper at his side, Mario could be saying, "You tell me where I'm going, and I'll tell you where I've been." Mario knew where he was going all right into the arms of friends, fame, and a new record. He backed into it.
New York, and here's a look at the latest toys. A telephone. Oh, a robot. Always a favorite, giant teddy bears. And every toddler needs a rifle.
A new experimental jet that needs no runway is tested at Edwards Air Force Base. The trailer that the X-13 rides out from the hangar just tilts up, and easy as that, the plane is hanging there, riding its jet. That's the takeoff. Once aloft, the new Ryan Delta Wing craft handles like any conventional jet. It's a hot performer, fast and maneuverable. The latest in the Air Force's line of experimental planes. Like the others, it verges on the incredible. But it's for real and very practical. No need for a few thousand feet of landing strip. The X-13 comes down the way it went up. At airspeed 0, it just slides into its little berth, gentle as you please. A dream plane come true. Those mechanized Bronco Busters, the motorcycle hill climbers, are at it again with the usual results. 35 attack Mark Means Hill outside Lewiston, Idaho. They're breaking in a new course, 325 feet long and practically straight up. The souped-up cycles go at it full power, but they're no match for a mountain goat, and one of them even catches fire. From a dead start, a dead duck. The least a fella's apt to lose is his motorcycle. He could break a neck without much effort, but these birds are a special breed. The greater the risk, the greater the sport. Bronco Buster is right. Look out below! For the guy who likes gadgets, here's the ultimate. A station wagon with everything you could want for camping or life on the road, including lifeboat, all built in and automatic. Behind the tailgate, a complete kitchen. While Dad is out boating, Mom gets the meal ready in case he doesn't bring back any fish. She's got a refrigerator. And, of course, a stove. Naturally, the kitchen sink. This buggy really has everything, including a canopy to shelter the cook from the sun or rain. All controlled by push buttons, including the canopied family-size and fully automatic tent on the roof. Alas, if those push buttons have you starry-eyed, this is one model not for sale. It's a dream car, strictly experimental, and the cost of production is even more impressive than all the fancy features. So dream away and wait the day. A hotel on wheels? That's what we said, a hotel. Just find a view, put up the sidewalls and the roof, and presto, you have a dining room with windows all around it. Just like a good old American Pullman, it has room to sleep a dozen when they're not busy admiring the scenery. A restful night far from the madding throng where reveille can be a pleasure. In fact, the whole arrangement's cozy. All the comforts of home and an alfresco breakfast that whets sluggish appetites. All in all, there's something to be said for the hotel that takes you with it instead of having to hunt one.
Ever wondered where spaghetti came from? Here's a humorous British news hoax that appeared in the 50s.
It isn't only in Britain that spring this year has taken everyone by surprise. Here, in the Ticino, on the borders of Switzerland and Italy, the slopes overlooking Lake Lugano have already burst into flower, at least a fortnight earlier than usual. But what, you may ask, has the early and welcome arrival of bees and blossom to do with food? Well, it's simply that the past winter, one of the mildest in living memory, has had its effect in other ways as well. Most important of all, it's resulted in an exceptionally heavy spaghetti crop. The last 2 weeks of March are an anxious time for the spaghetti farmer. There's always the chance of a late frost, which, while not entirely ruining the crop, generally impairs the flavor and makes it difficult for him to obtain top prices in world markets. But now these dangers are over, and the spaghetti harvest goes forward. Spaghetti cultivation here in Switzerland is not, of course, carried out on anything like the tremendous scale of the Italian industry. Many of you, I'm sure, will have seen pictures of the vast spaghetti plantations in the Po Valley. For the Swiss, however, it tends to be more of a family affair. Another reason why this may be a bumper year lies in the virtual disappearance of the spaghetti weevil, the tiny creature whose depredations have caused much concern in the past. After picking, the spaghetti is laid out to dry in the warm alpine sun. Many people are often puzzled by the fact that spaghetti is produced at such uniform length, but this is the result of many years of patient endeavor by plant breeders who've succeeded in producing the perfect spaghetti. And now, the harvest is marked by a traditional meal. Toasts to the new crop are drunk in these poccolinos, and then the waiters enter bearing the ceremonial dish. And it is, of course, spaghetti, picked earlier in the day, dried in the sun, and so brought fresh from garden to table at the very peak of condition. For those who love this dish, there's nothing like real homegrown spaghetti.
Strange at Palo Alto is the bongo board, kind of a sawed-off seesaw for one Marjorie Daw at a time. It's easy enough to see how it works, but it's quite a trick to make it work. Models or just anybody interested in keeping in shape find that by using bongo, bingo, everything shapes up nicely. You don't have to be good at figures to figure that out. Yes, sir, the gals are falling for bongo in a big way. Well, fancy meeting you here, girls. Here being the ancient ruins of Austria, 17 miles from Rome, a scenic spot for a fashion show, including silly hats. This one decorated with chestnuts. And this one is a shoe hat. If prizes were being given, it would be a shoe-in to win. But enough is enough. Milady's winter wardrobe is the big thing here at the old Roman ruins, where Julius Caesar and others vacationed on the Mediterranean. It's a far cry to cocktail dresses and evening gowns designed by modern-day Romans for lovely ladies of a world a lot larger than Caesar ever imagined it. Ruins 2,000 years old, what a contrast to winter fashions of AD 1953. Evening gowns in blacks and whites, plus new fabrics and new lines, all featured at this outdoor showing. Well, so long, girls. I gotta be Roman along. This is what you might call a squirrely story. Meet Miss Florence Hinton of Grover City, California, who has trained a small platoon of the bushy-tailed little rodents into amiability and a desire to please. Snookums here is a motherly little old lady squirrel with quite a talent for babysitting.
very affectionate type squirrel is Snookums. Jumbo is another member of the pet family, claimed to be the only performing trained squirrels in the world, but Jumbo seems to be ad-libbing his routine. The straight and narrow is not for Jumbo, but it's only innocent mischief. This patriotic little fella earned his name, Sousa. It's the stars and stripes forever for him.
Who hasn't felt like giving women's hats the horse laugh? Well, men, hats off to the guy who got up the courage to do it. The occasion, the opening in Fairfield, California, of UI's new comedy, Once Upon a Horse. And Dobbin put on his best bonnet for hobnobbing with the equestrian elite. And for the best hat of all, of course, there's a prize. Corny? So what? Corn goes over big with horses. Some jackass crashed the party, it always happens, but there was so much horsing around that no one said nay. It was just kidding around, and a good time was had by all.
A new note in music.
At Mills College in Oakland, California, a revolutionary idea is in the making. Students of the New Instruments and composer and designer Harry Parch create weird and unique music on cloud chamber bowls derived from atomic research and a kithara of 72 strings. The Diamond Marimba. This modern orchestra produces music in 43 tones instead of the usual 12. This is one result of Parch's 30 years of search for the elusive tones that exist between the notes on a regular piano.
Mechanical cop on the job.
In Woodland, California, the copper has gone mechanical. The only thing he can't do is bawl you out. With city officials looking on, the copper, made of copper and some other things, gets a workout. He can be plugged in anywhere and moved anywhere. The traffic controls are operated automatically and can be adjusted by a child. No longer is the school problem a serious threat due to the shortage of human police. When this robot rookie takes over, everything comes under control rapidly. The 8-foot, 290-pound arm of the law can flash a wide variety of signals to the motorists. The nice part about him, he doesn't care what beat he has, and he can halt traffic just as effectively as though he yelled, "Hey, you!" Under his protection, school kids can cross safely. The next thing, they'll have him handing out tickets, just like the human ones who are watching with such interest.
Here's some babies on parade. Hey, I wonder if you were one of them.
Annual Ladera Park Baby Show gets rolling as 1,000 tiny tots show up in carriages, prams, buggies, and push carts, daintily decorated. Come on, look alive. Little Indian is wide awake, although slightly bored. There are all kinds of prizes with double awards for twins. Two can have twice as many chances to win. Sleepyhead misses the crowning of the king and queen. In Antioch, California, the youngest competitors in any event in any county fair compete in the big diaper derby for little folk. Shh! They're going to blow the whistle, and then the idea is to crawl to the outside of the circle. Frantic parents urge him on, and finally, at last, there is a winner. He's Danny Watson, 11 months old and red-headed. Boy, is Mother proud, and boy, is Danny Boy ever tired. So a little nipper takes a nip of milk.
Celebrating the 100th anniversary of the Jumping Frog of Calaveras County, later celebrated in Mark Twain's famous story, the International Frog Jump gets underway at Angels Camp, California. The croakers bear such distinguished names as Winnie and Clem from England, a Canadian jumper, Thames River Tom, fed on vitamins made from genuine Canadian maple leaves, and African Magic and Cape of Good Hope, who arrived all the way from South Africa by plane. Phew, this is really international. Come on there, Basso Profundo. For these feathery monsters, the length of the jump is measured in a straight line from the start to the end of the third jump. By a great something or other, the winner's name was Can't Take It, at 15 feet 6 1/2 inches. Not bad by a long jump.
A family, the Gallaghers. Connie Ann, 5 years old, and Colina Sue, 2 1/2, are a big help to Mother Luella, who is no mean hand with a handful of knives. Connie Ann is a veteran at being a target for her mother's cutlery and doesn't turn a hair at Ma's cut-ups, even though Ma's pretty sharp with the cleavers. But Connie's ready for a stand-in, and evidently Colina Sue has more trust in Mother's aim than the audience has. It takes a steady eye and a stout heart to heave knives at the apple of your eye. But this female William Tell has no qualms and plenty of faith. A near miss, but this miss says it's as good as a smile. Put yourself in her place. Well, I just tried, but gosh, I'm too bashful.
Filmy dress, corsage to match, a handsome swain, and a lovely lady. That nights are soft, the music sweet, and you are with your favorite person. Will you enjoy this special evening among your friends? Will you really have a good time? Or will you be a little unsure, a little uncertain about the right thing to do and the right time to do it? Nothing spoils a good time like unease, and they gained confidence and poise thereby. By manners, we do not mean affectation. Good manners are really very simple. They come from knowing and following a set of simple rules which help you enjoy yourself with people and help people enjoy themselves with you. It's as simple as that. Good manners, social graces, etiquette, call it what you will, all are based on consideration for others, being kind to the other fellow in the little things of life as well as the big things. The youngsters who start to learn their manners early are fortunate youngsters. They may not think so at the time, but as they grow older, they realize that good manners can't be put on for special occasions only. At the school cafeteria, show consideration for others. Take your place in line, wait your turn, don't hold up the path of progress while you compare notes on the exciting play in Saturday's game, but move along as the line moves. Most school cafeterias serve a lot of people who are hungry at about the same time. If you have a choice of foods, look at the menu as you come in so you won't hold up the line while you make your decision. Know how to choose a lunch that will help to keep you as bright as you are today and in all the days to come. And then comes time to pay. Oh, what a line stopper this can be. That dime was in that pocket this morning, but where, oh, where can it be now? Know what to eat as well as how to eat. While each lunch has variety to fit the taste of the individual, all the lunches follow the pattern of an A lunch. Each lunch includes about 1/3 of the protective foods needed for the day and features a substantial main dish or sandwich. Each lunch includes fruits and vegetables and milk because milk heads the list of favorite foods for lunchtime or any time for real refreshment. Consideration for others applies wherever you are, whether it be the corner hamburger stand, a simple dinner at home, or more formal dining. The rules are simple and are based on your hostess's consideration for you. Put your napkin in your lap quietly. Fancy flourishes are disturbing to those around you. No need to be uneasy about a long line of silverware. The first piece you use is placed on the outside, making it easy for you to pick up without spoiling the place setting. Automatically, the next piece you use is on the outside, making it easy to be sure of using the right piece for each course as it is served. Soup is eaten quietly from the side of the spoon. Good manners are based on common sense and are easy to acquire if you follow the simple rules. Salads are on your left and are eaten with a fork. And remember, the salad fork will be on the outside. The knife and fork are tools you want to know how to use properly. Cut only a bite or two at a time. Your food will not only taste better if it is eaten in small bites, but you will look better too. And time to add your bit to the pleasant conversation, which should be part of every meal. Use your knife for cutting instead of tearing, and of course the sword swallower in the circus is the only person who may have a knife anywhere near his mouth. At the table, you will look better if you sit up, relaxed but straight. No elbows on the table, please. Your butter spreader is never used for cutting bread or opening rolls or biscuits, which are broken apart by hand, but is used for spreading butter on bread or rolls a bite at a time. Going places and doing things requires budgeting of time, and it is much more pleasant if you call on time and are ready when called for. If the man of the hour is not acquainted with your parents, then introductions are, of course, in order. A few pleasant words before setting out will put you at ease and make things more gracious. After all, parents are people, and they have a genuine interest in you. One of the young lady's parents or a close family friend should be present whenever she leaves on a date. Take good care of her, young man. This means not only big things like driving safely and getting her home at the reasonable hour set, but also little things like opening doors and many other small courtesies that are a lady's due. The same principle and consideration for the young lady applies if you are going on the streetcar to the library or out on a very special occasion. Whether it be punch from a crystal bowl or hot dogs at a hayride, the gentleman is responsible for getting refreshments, and it is the young lady's responsibility to be gracious in all her actions, to help in keeping up conversation so that everyone is at ease. When she goes to the cloakroom, don't tarry with the stag line. Be nearby to escort her when she comes out. Carry your manners with you at all times. Make them part of you. They will help you over the hard places, and remember, whatever your goals in life, finding a good job, being a gracious host or hostess, or not being a wallflower at college parties, good manners will help you achieve them faster and more successfully. It was Emerson who said, "Manners are the happy ways of doing things." And Emerson was right. Be natural. Be yourself, but see yourself as others see you.